I recently did a video about fear, okay, and how you need to address whatever fear it is that's keeping you from progressing towards your goals. It was a great video. Click on the link below. But in this video, I want to talk about something that absolutely blew my mind. And the fact is, an article written by Tom Platz himself about how Tom Platz was afraid of squatting. This blew my mind. And I'm sure most of you people are having your mind blown as well, because Tom Platz, for those few people who don't know who he is, had the best legs ever in the history of bodybuilding. His legs were so well developed that a lot of people think he would have done better if they were less well developed. They think he would have done better in bodybuilding competitions because his legs overpowered the rest of his physique and brought him out of proportion. But the fact is, by having these incredible legs, he is better known among bodybuilders than most of the actual Mr. Olympias who actually won the top title, okay? So how could he possibly be afraid of squatting? And don't think to yourself for a second that he found some, weenie way to build good legs without working hard, like doing a whole bunch of leg press instead of squatting, because if there's one thing he was known for, besides having really good looking, powerful looking legs, is having very good, very powerfully functioning legs. He was well known for putting 500 plus pounds on the bar and doing tens upon tens upon tens of repetitions per set, okay, in these challenge competitions he would have with people, okay? So he squatted hard. So how could one of the hardest working squatters, who had some of the most killer, high repetition, high weight, high intensity squat workouts ever, and the best legs ever, possibly be afraid of squats? Well, the fact of the matter is, if you don't work hard at squats, you're not have much to be afraid of. Since he worked that much harder than everybody else, well, guess what? He had that much more to be afraid of. But he didn't let it stop him, okay? So, in this article that I read, and I'm going to have a link to it below, it was reprinted on a blog, but it was originally published in Muscle Mag, okay, an old magazine from like the 90s. What he talks about is how he was so afraid of squatting because he squatted with such intensity and such effort. First of all, he would only squat twice a month. He would work out his legs every week, but he would alternate between a squat workout and a hack squat / leg extension / leg curl workout, and then another pure squat workout, okay? The reason being, he himself said if he squats really hard with a proper intensity, he is not going to be able to do anything else whatsoever for his legs that day, okay? Another thing is, if you work out with such an intensity that you're literally frightened to go to the gym, there's no way you're going to be able to do that very often. So he would really concentrate on squatting every other week, okay? Another thing is, he would mentally prepare himself long before he went to the gym. He would tell himself the night before he had a squat workout, he's just going to go to the gym, he's just going to do a couple sets, it's not going to be anything hard, he's just going to go there to have fun. Now, he knew it was going to be hell, he knew it was going to be easy, and he knew it was going to be fun, but he tried at least to tell himself that to get his ass into the gym. The day of his squat workout, he would wake up at 5 in the morning and think positively and talk to himself about, hey, it's just going to be fun. We're just going to go there and do a couple sets of squats. It's going to be okay. There's nothing to be afraid of, okay? He would put on his special weightlifting shoes, okay? That special soles that were made specially for weightlifting. Now, this is something that in neurolinguistic programming is called an anchor. It's basically, it anchors you into a certain mindset that you have. Like when you smell something and you're like, I remember that's the smell of the cake I had on my 9th birthday, and it brings you back to the feelings you had in your 9th birthday, okay? It anchors you back to that experience. And it's the same thing here. He had a positive experience every time he squatted. Every time he squatted, he wore these shoes. So when he put these special shoes on that he wore when he squatted, it brought him into that same feeling of power that he had during his last workout, okay? Then he would get in his car, which was a 1960s Corvette. He said he'd be driving the car and that just the exhaust would be screaming and the engine would be roaring, and he'd feel all that power and allow that power to make himself feel powerful as well. He lived in Malibu, worked out in Gold's Gym Venice Beach, So he would specifically drive along the coast where these huge waves were crashing down on these huge rocks and huge water was just shooting everywhere. It was a really powerful experience just watching this huge wave crushing these huge rocks and just water splashing everywhere. It just allowed him, with the exhaust coming out of his car and the engine roaring and just the waves crashing down, all this power he saw, and he allowed that to make him feel powerful, okay? Because when you're really working hard, and you're frightened of the workout you're going to do, it's almost like fight or flight. You're either looking for excuses to get out of it or to minimize the amount of work you're doing, or you're going to attack the workout with everything you have and feel powerful. And as you can see, he would actually wake up at 5 in the morning on the days of his squat workouts specifically to make sure that he feels powerful when he hits the gym. He'd go into the gym, he'd go ahead and see his training partner, they'd go into the back room where the guys, Arnold Schwarzenegger did the squats in the movie Pumping Iron, okay? Go right into the back of Gold's gym where they did the squats, and they go ahead and they start out, and they do like, a set of 135 pounds, that's one big plate on each side of the barbell, for about 10 reps. Then they go ahead and throw another plate on, 225, do about, 10 reps. Then they'd go ahead and they'd throw a third plate on, 315, which is a lot of weight, and he would do a, quote, easy set of 20 reps, okay? He'd concentrate on it. It wouldn't be fun and games. He'd concentrate, but he would do a clean set of 20 reps with 315 pounds. Then he'd put another plate on, 4 plates on each side of the bar, 405 pounds, and he would do his first real set, okay? He would get underneath the bar, he would go all the way down, come all the way up, and he would just kill it. Okay, he'd do like 10, 15, 20 reps. He said his training partner was just, telling him like, you just keeping him going. It's like, come on, you own this, you got to do this. He'd be like, I think I tore something. He'd be like, no, it's fine, just keep going. And he would just kill himself. He would just keep going and going and going. So he can't possibly at all, emotionally, mentally, or physically knock out one more rep. He would end up laying on the ground where the squat rack is after he got done with that set of squats. He said he'd lay on the ground for up to 20 minutes. He was just so exhausted he couldn't see, he couldn't breathe, he couldn't move, he could just lay there for like 20 minutes before he could even get up and go outside and get some fresh air. Okay, so he would absolutely, positively kill himself during this one set. And that's, once again, the reason why he would only work out every other week, because there's no way when people say, oh, I do, squats 3 times a week with my full body workouts, and I kill myself with squats and I kill myself with bench press every single day when I do it 3 times a week. There's no way in hell that you do something like that and then you kill yourself doing bench press or you kill yourself doing deadlifts. There's no way in hell I don't believe a word you're saying. So anyway, like I said, you lay for like 20 minutes on the ground, get up, go outside, get some fresh air, come back and do another set. So we're talking about basically he only did a set of 135. I mean, that's easy even for me, and my legs suck. A set of 225, easy, okay? A set of 315, he'd have to concentrate, but he'd get through 20 reps with 315, okay? Then 2 sets with 405 until he literally collapsed, okay? That's a total of 5 sets. Only 2 of which, maybe 315, but only 2 of which are real absolute killer sets. But like I said, when you bring that kind of intensity, when you bring that kind of effort, you can only do squats. He couldn't go ahead and do anything else the rest of the day. Not even the rest of his leg workout. He couldn't do anything else the rest of that day. He didn't do any more leg workouts for the rest of the week. The next week he did this leg extension, curls, hack squats, whatever. Then he'd go ahead and do 2 weeks later, another serious squat workout of just 5 sets of squats. So anyway, like I said, this is for the people. I'm not a big fan of hero worship where I think, oh, well, he's just really good at squats and that's why he's got good legs. But even I got blindsided by this. I really thought that if he had these incredible legs, that it was because he liked squatting. Some people are just sick. They enjoy the pain of squatting. I thought he was one of those people. But the fact is, Tom Platz had the best legs ever in the history of bodybuilding. And it wasn't because he liked squatting. It was despite the fact that he hated and was frightened and terrified of squatting.